Stock Opendoor Technologies is forming a very obvious structure here, guys. It has gotten a lot of attention recently, being extremely volatile, seemingly out of nowhere. Open is now trading with massive volume because of retail investors have piled in, driving a meme stock style rally fueled by social media hype and heavy short interest that's triggering a squeeze-like effect, as well as a recent CEO resigning with the company, and the company's push towards AI has added a lot more excitement, bringing in even more aggressive volatile trading here, guys. And as we see, we are forming what we like to call a cup and handle pattern. So today we're going to be analyzing what we should be expecting within the next few days, 2 weeks of trading, and if we should be expecting a further breakout or a handle and then a breakdown. All right, guys, on the weekly chart, this stock is prone to these very volatile swings up and down. It is a volatile stock, but in more recent times, we were kind of on this descending profile, and stock hasn't been doing all that much, kind of died down from those very volatile spikes. If we go on the monthly quick, a little bit of a better perspective. After IPO, we had very volatile price action, but then we kind of just descend and it gets less, and less. But now we have seen an increase in that volatility once again, and now we are at all-time high volume, completely blowing past anything that we've seen on the stock in the past. Even in this huge volatile IPO range, volume is absolutely monstrous right now. So definitely a good sign that we have a lot of buyer interest and just a whole lot of steam throughout the market. Now on the weekly, guys, we see that that $5 psychological level has been quite a tough point to get out of, right? We see in the past, after that descending range, once we find a little bit of a bottom, trend back up, we kind of top at that $5 level, come back down, do it again, top at that $5 level. And now with this increased volatility and buyer move to the upside, somewhere around that 50-cent level, right below $1 the stock got, we come all the way up to $5. That being a monstrous move, guys, within only around 2 weeks of time, doing around a 800% move to the upside, really blowing up out of nowhere. But we do top at that $5 level once again. We come down, get back up, don't retrace all the way, retrace around half of that movement, a little bit more than half, come back up, try to break that zone, reaching that 5.87 level. Then we do reject once again. So still that $5 level holds up a strong resistance, but we are seeing a huge increase in volume and buyer interest as investors are definitely propelling the stock. All right, guys, take you back to the daily. So the main thing that we see here is that cup and handle pattern. After that explosive move to the upside, buyers really bring this thing all the way to that $5 level within around 5 days of price action. All right, kind of building up some steam here, slightly ascending up, and then huge volume spike, giant all-time high volume, leading to an extremely big move to the upside. We're talking about on this one day doing around 100%, but we cannot hold here. Massive selling pressure is what we see. And we bring all the way back down, close around that 325. We see once again, buyers try to push the price right back up, top around that 390, bring us down, closing in a seller favored day with the sellers in a lot of control, given that wide body. And then we found a bottom around that 170 level, which leads us to this cup and handle pattern as we trend back up to this $5 level, right? The handle has not quite formed, but we see an obvious cup-shaped pattern, this time with a very nice green wide bar engulfing this bearish candle here. And then we see buyers try to continue that movement, leading to a breakout, but then we see, once again, loss of selling pressure. And then this most recent day, we see buyers try to push it past that level once again, but lots of selling pressure. So given that long-term history, this is a tough point to get over, and we do still see a lot of considerable amount of selling pressure. You could expect a smaller pullback, a little bit of back and forth as well, creating a handle-like structure, right? A handle out of this cup and handle. Very common pattern with a lot of volatile stocks. And so we find a little bit of a bottom and then try to trend back up. That's where I think we'll build enough energy to really break through this $5 level. Can we break it before that happens? Yeah, of course, right? This could just be a very small handle and we could just trend right back up in the next couple of days of trading, breaking through that level, continuing this nice move to the upside. But I think it's likely that we do see a nice solidified handle and then continue to trend back up to this level of 5.040. So this will be very important to get over. We have kind of broken down after hitting this rejection multiple times. So I think that instead of rejecting very hard to the bottom here, we do form some sort of handle and breakout. All right, guys, on the hourly time frame, this is where we see that possible breakout. We do see a ton of buyer momentum, right? Sellers not in this fight whatsoever. Lots and lots of green candles in a row on the hourly, showing that the buyers were in that ultimate control, trending to that movement. So definitely a good breakout attempt here. But once again, once we get considerably past that range at that 580, we are met with some more resistance and that yanks stock right back down. But instead of seeing a huge move to the downside, being a very sharp retracement like we saw a very sharp move to the upside, we do see buyers try to step back in, breaking over that level again, but still lots of selling pressure, but I do like what we see here, right? Buyers still staying in that game, not letting sellers yank us back down. Short term, we have $6 as our price target. And long term, I mean, this thing has a ton of room to run past this level. If we can get a clean break of 5043, we have a ton of room to run. I mean, with this stock's volume really building up in buyer interest, I think that this stock can have a very nice continued move to the upside, guys. I don't think that it's completely slowing down, but I do think that we have seen an obvious pattern here, and we are going to continue to see a bit of back and forth before getting that continued breakout. So I got for you guys today. So our price target on the channel is going to be $6 after we get that break of 543, and we predict that we might be entering a bit of a chop phase, a little bit of back and forth, possible small descending range. If we can't get that retest once again, right, it's still possible that we get that quick retest and a break, but nevertheless, we are bullish on open, and we do think eventually this will break through and hit that $6 level. So for short-term traders, a little bit neutral here, but long-term, medium-term, looking very good. So let me know your price predictions in the comments below for Opendoor Technologies. If you want to see more open videos, make sure to like and subscribe. As always, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.